Okay, so the number one pressure that Daryl pointed out, being the silly redhead, was that it was the cold O-ring. So well done, Daryl. We actually thought we'd identify 4 sort of key areas of stakeholders and what sort of pressures they put on the whole thing. The first would be we saw it as sort of going this direction, that when public, US government, NASA, then Morton Thiokol, and they all had their own individual pressures, but the building pressure from the public was the fact that you'd miss out on the teacher in space. They expected their value for money from this, and every day it delayed was probably millions of dollars, and they knew it. They'll be suspicious of the reliability and whether or not it was economically viable, and should this taxpayer dollar be going somewhere else. And we come from the greatest country on earth. So pretty much for Americans, I guess, in those, they're very, very proud of their space program, and every day it's delayed is probably a red face for them. And what would the Russians say? Because obviously they still have the space war sort of going. So to play the teacher, if we were to recast that video, Sue pointed out there should be Angelina Jolie. We think a bit of sex appeal in there would have helped. So the US government, well, they obviously got PR needs to get the launch in time on budget, so they'd be pressuring NASA saying, you're making us look like fools. And we're getting a lot of pressure from reporters and the public asking why we weren't running this program. And of course they would put that pressure straight onto NASA with the continual delays that makes them look unprofessional. And so the resulting in probably the most amount of pressure back on between these two being Morton Thiokol and NASA. So the contract's up for renewal, being that it's $1 billion, I imagine it's probably where a lot of their, that's probably their biggest contract that they had. So pressure from management and employees, that they were being bullied. Basically the engineering team was being bullied into a decision, and in the end they were actually ignored. So that's how we saw the pressure points going. Now just run you through the other casting. We thought Billy Bob Thornton could play the US president. Donald Sutherland, the NASA main guy, because he was a bit, sleazy and grimy, so we thought that was probably a good role for him. And we'd have Nicholson as the managing director at Morton Thiokol, just because we want to see a really cool court scene. But pretty much, that's what Z-Man says. There you go. That's the pressure points.
Very good.
Any questions?
Questions of the Z.
Who played the engineer?
Tom Pittman.
No, Tom Hanks.
Oh, Tom Hanks. Yeah, we had Hanksy because he's a pushover. Old Hanksy. Yeah, he plays Hangover. Hangover. Any other questions on pressure points? Come on, 4 minutes.
Good job.
Well done. Yeah.